On January 6, 1066, Harald Godwinson is crowned Harald II, King of England, triggering events that change England forever. The previous king, Edward the Confessor, died with no children, and Harald Godwinson, Earl of Wessex, whose sister was married to Edward, claimed that the king had named him as his heir on his deathbed.
But who else had a claim on the throne? And how did the events of 1066 change history?
There were multiple other claimants, including the Viking king of Norway, Harald Hardrada, and Edward's great-nephew, Edgar Atheling, who was still a child. The most important claim to the throne came from William, Duke of Normandy, and Edward's first cousin once removed. William of Normandy is also known as William the Conqueror or William the Bastard, since he was the illegitimate son of Duke Robert I of Normandy and Herleva, the daughter of a tanner. But, being his father's only son, Robert recognized William as his heir, something uncommon in medieval Europe. William additionally claimed that Harald Godwinson had sworn allegiance to him on a holy relic years earlier. So, William disputed Harald Godwinson's claim to the throne, and he invaded England in late September 1066. But Harald Godwinson was preoccupied with another problem at the time of William's landing. That was the fact that one of the other rivals, Harald Hardrada, had already invaded from Norway. The Viking king was aided by Harald Godwinson's brother Tostig. The Godwinson brothers had been at odds ever since Harald had ousted Tostig as Earl of Northumbria the previous year. Harald Godwinson met the armies of Harald Hardrada and his brother Tostig at the Battle of Stamford Bridge on September 25, 1066, in Yorkshire in northwest England. Harald Godwinson won a great victory in the battle, but was then informed of William's invasion 185 miles away on England's south coast. So after marching all the way to Yorkshire from southern England to face the Norwegians, Harald then had to force march his army south to intercept William and the Normans. The two armies met at the Battle of Hastings on October 14th, where Harald was killed, legendarily with an arrow through the eye. This was the last successful foreign invasion of England. William was then crowned King of England on Christmas Day. But how did the Normans change England? Well, they brought Romanesque architecture, which alters the look of the churches and castles, including the Tower of London, which was built by William the Conqueror. The feudal system was expanded, centralizing power. Surnames first came to England thanks to the Normans. William ordered the creation of the Domesday Book, the great survey that provides a detailed record of 11th century England and much of Wales. The 224-foot-long Bayeux Tapestry is created, which is significant both as medieval artwork and as a chronicle of the events featured in this video. But the most enduring change is in the English language itself, as French words enrich the lexicon. More than half of the words in our modern English language derive from Latin, and much of that is thanks to the Normans. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1412, Catholic saint and hero of the 100 Years' War, Joan of Arc, is born in a French village. In 1759, George Washington marries wealthy widow and mother of two Martha Dandridge Custis in Virginia. In 1838, in New Jersey, Samuel Morse demonstrates his telegraph system for the first time. In 1957, Elvis makes his third and final appearance on Ed Sullivan, but is only seen from the waist up. In 1975, popular game show Wheel of Fortune premieres on NBC with original host Chuck Woolery. In 1994, American figure skater Nancy Kerrigan is attacked and injured at a Detroit ice rink. In 2021, a mob forces its way into the U.S. Capitol as Congress works to certify the Electoral College vote. And now, it's time for our Today in History quiz. Who was the communist dictator that murdered over 1 million people in Cambodia? Ho Chi Minh, Mao Zedong, Pol Pot, or Kim Il-sung?
Liked learning about William the Conqueror and the Norman invasion of England? Then you'll love this one about how William's dynasty ended because of a shipwreck. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.